gonna be a rock star. Rolling Sunset Boulevard.
Welcome to the Charrons Zone. Man, I am so excited because I have my main man, the power journalist, with me today, Markos Papadatos.
Yeah. Hi.
So Markos is not only known as the power journalist, which is the coolest tagline since country rock with a twist of lime.
Gonna say.
He is also an 18-time Best of Long Island winner, and also, if that's not enough, Journalist of the Year in the Greek American Press. Markos, if you can tell everybody a little bit about yourself and maybe some other things that you've accomplished and what you've got going on in your illustrious career.
It's my 19th year in journalism, believe it or not. So
Man.
It's nice. I started my college newspaper, and the rest is history. People were responding well, and then I just love what I do: music, entertainment, sports.
Yeah.
Lifestyle lately.
So what's and lifestyle?
Lifestyle. I review restaurants lately. It's like a new thing for me.
Nice. Oh, that's nice. Well, if you ever need an assistant, you let me know.
You should. All the time. Like, nobody wants to go with me. They're like, oh, they're so jaded, these people. Come to a restaurant in Manhattan. Who wouldn't want to review a Manhattan restaurant?
Exactly, and I'm sure you get treated very well if you're doing a review.
You bet.
Nice. So tell everybody listening and watching, kind of how you started in, like you mentioned, your high school paper, but how you started getting interested, then how you started, getting your foot in the door, and how you kind of amped up to be doing what you're doing now.
I've always loved country music, but in New York it was taboo. Like in 2001, my high school days, they would never publish me. They're like, oh, we can't publish the country articles. We didn't even have a country station in New York. So in high schools, I had 0 published articles. So then it took them until college to take me seriously. And then they started having a country station in New York, and I was branching out more, going to more events. And then, I just started writing anywhere and everywhere. I just had a platform to get published, and then branched out in the digital world, which is all online because newspapers are becoming obsolete.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's for sure. So I know that you I'm pretty sure you hit a big milestone recently. And what was it? Because they had it up on like the big boards. I don't know if that was where that was, but
that was like 20,000 articles. That was a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh wow, 20,000 articles. So you started off in high school.
Yeah, but they would never take me seriously.
Yeah.
So it took until college. So at 19 in college I started. Yeah.
And where did you go to college?
Queens College, Seinfeld's college.
Oh really?
Yeah, Seinfeld, The Nanny went there, Fran Drescher, Joey Behar went here, Adrian Brody went here. All these successful people and the power journalist.
That's great. Now they're all going to be like, well, I went to the same high school that the power journalist went to, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so after high school, how did you make the transition into doing it, professionally?
Well, I interned for a music magazine in Staten Island, and then in 3 weeks I went from intern to staff writer because I was so quick. And then 9 months later, I became associate editor, and then I moved all my way up to managing editor. And after 3 years, I left because, then everything was in the digital space because I can't wait a month for a magazine to come out. My article's out in 30 minutes.
Yeah. So who do you write an interview for now?
Digital, same outlet, Digital Journal.
Digital Journal. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow. So is it all written word?
I write. Mine's all text. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. So let's get into the fun stuff. Now, besides Tim Charron, oh, by the way, besides Tim Charron, I was going to ask you, besides Tim Charron, if you could list off some of your favorite interviewees, and it just so happens to be our buddy, Mr. Brett Michaels of Poison's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Brett. Yeah, I love him and you. The connection is just, it's like the coolest thing. I love the bromance you two have together. And he's always so supportive. He's like, oh, Tim is such a great guy. Can't wait to party it up next time I'm in Florida. It's so great. And I'm still trying to get him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's so political.
Yeah, yeah.
His guitar is there, but he's not in it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's silly. I mean, that has to happen. Um, so, and of course, I'm sure you're gonna say Brett because he's awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, tell us some stories about some of your favorite interviewees.
My range is so exciting and different. It's nice. I can go from Olympic swimmers to track and field. I love Caleb Dressel. He's a Florida boy too, Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Got like 5 golds in Tokyo and then another couple of gold and silver in Paris. Yeah, I just love swimmers. So their work ethic is like crazy. It's like they get up at 5 or 7 in the morning to do like a 2-hour workout. That's like, it's all written in calculus. I'm like, what do they mean by like 97% speed and a half? How do you calibrate that?
Right.
Like
right.
insane. Like I don't know how to go in a cold pool in that morning. I'm barely awake.
Yep. So so besides him, who's another favorite sports figure that you've interviewed?
I love Hunter Woodall. He's the Paralympic and he's married to Tara. The couple, the long jumper. I just love how they both got gold in Paris this summer for like the Paralympics and the Olympics. And I was like, oh, like when you have that support system cheering each other on, it's like the coolest moment. He's like, babe, you're the Olympic champion. And I just cried.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's switch back to musician. Who's one or two of your favorite musicians that you?
Michael Bublé, Stevie Nicks.
Oh, damn. Any interesting things happen when you're interviewing any of these people?
Just I love hearing them talk and their stories just to get where they are because they're just icons at this rate.
Yeah, I always tell people, like I've opened for all these amazing, iconic musicians like Willie Nelson and Charlie Daniels and Brett, Big and Rich and Chris Young and.
Yes, I remember. And I think, didn't you do Lee Brice and Dustin Lynch? I think.
Dustin Lynch, yeah. And a big part of why I love doing it so much is to just be around them and like kind of just absorb like what they're doing, what they do and how they. I'm just always so interested in how people carry themselves. Just like Brett's the perfect example. Charlie Daniels is a great example. Dustin Lynch is a great example of people that you meet them and they're so. And I also had the opportunity. It was before I was doing music professionally, but actually in New York City in Manhattan, I had the opportunity to hang out with Michael Stipe and Bono from U2. So we went to one of Michael Stipe's Christmas parties because I was a personal trainer in Miami Beach. And I was training a couple of the guys from REM down here when they were recording an album. And Michael invited me to a Christmas party, so I flew up to New York. And this party was awesome. There were celebrities everywhere. But then, and I'm in the VIP section with Michael, and it was like elevated. And then Bono walks in through, at the end of the club, and it was like the Red Seas parted, And so he came up, and literally it was me, Bono, and Michael Stipe hanging out for like 4 hours for the whole night.
So cool. When was this?
This was years ago, like in the 2000s.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was, and I just love doing those things because of, it's cool to meet these people, but it's also great to just see how some of them, treat other people and, kind of, so I can try to model their success and the way they just navigate things like Brett and how he's just nice to everybody and he goes out of his way to talk to everybody, shake everybody's hand. And Brett and Bono and Charlie Daniels and Dustin Lynch, they make you feel like you are the rock star. So, so having said all of that, after I've babbled enough about myself, I saw that you have been working with a lot of actors, doing a lot of interviews with actors. So you have any favorites there?
Yeah, have it right here. A Matthew McConaughey cover story.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, about his book. About his book.
Yes. Oh,
Byline. Markos Papadatos.
look at that, dude. You, my friend, are a power journalist.
Yeah, man.
Not A. You are the power journalist. That's awesome.
And this was during the strike, so we couldn't talk about acting. We were talking about his children's book, but it was like you got so much out of that book. It's like about how like to live your life like all the values.
Yeah.
Just because. And he's like the coolest guy. He's like another Bret Michaels.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. You know, I have a song that's about him.
You do?
It's called McConaughey. Yeah. Check it out on Spotify. Everybody check it out on Spotify.
Oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it's about, so for years and years and years, maybe, I don't know, got it. And I wrote that maybe 7 years ago. For like 10, 12 years, I've had a guy crush on Matthew McConaughey's lifestyle. Like, I love that he used to live in an Airstream in Malibu overlooking the beach, and he would just work out and run the hills and surf all day. And I was like, I want to live like McConaughey. And that's exactly what the song says. And
Gotta check it out now.
Yeah. It's I'll you know what? I'll put it in this.
Cool.
I'll put it right here.
Perfect segue.
Exactly. So, any other actors that you really enjoyed getting into their brain a little bit?
So many lately. It's like I've done like one Oscar winner after the other. It's incredible. Gosh, I just loved it. Recently I did Jeffrey Rush, and I just loved him. I felt like the kid in me, like I think he's like the best character actor in the world. He did Pirates of the Caribbean, Shine, all the Elizabeth movies. He's just amazing. And King's Speech.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's awesome. So what I'd like to do, because kind of a lot of people listening and watching are either actors, musicians that are trying to navigate the business, right? And hopefully some future power journalists. But I'd like to kind of pick your brain to see what you would tell someone, kind of just basically your advice, like someone who wants to be a Markos Papadatos someday, someone who looks up to what you're doing, and what would you tell them?
Start early, like start in a high school newspaper, college newspaper, right? Anywhere and everywhere you can. It doesn't only have to be articles. It can be poems. It could be song lyrics, because song lyrics are poems, give or take. You could, get an agent, get a manager, get a lawyer, and just branch out. The playing field's leveled. You could just do it on your release music yourself on Spotify from your basement. Everybody has the same chance. If you go viral, just post. Use social media as a tool in your advantage. It's free advertising. Put it on YouTube. Put it on TikTok. Put it on Instagram, X, Spotify.
Yes. Can we pause for 1 second, and can you repeat the free advertising part?
It's free. Yeah, the social media is free advertising.
It's amazing that I've been preaching this forever, and it's one of my. I did a podcast about it yesterday. That people. A lot of people have the excuse, I don't do social media. I'm not good at social media. It's all BS to me.
The digital age, you have to.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. If you want to be successful, especially in entertainment or what you're doing, use the free advertising it's free 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And people need to wake up and take advantage of it, because people like you and I have taken as full advantage of it as we possibly can. And I can just speak for myself. If it wasn't for social media, I don't know where I'd be, but I have used social media to my advantage for many, 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 many years, and I love it. It has done so much for me, has done everything. I you know, of course I've done all the work and all the things, but the power of blasting out there and connecting with people and showing them what you're doing. When you show people that you're doing things, it leads to more opportunities to do things.
Right.
It's so powerful. Yeah. So also, I just wanted to go back real quick. You mentioned that you did an internship, and within 3 weeks, you were assistant editor.
Staff writer first.
Staff writer.
And then 9 months later, I was associate editor. Yeah.
So I think that's a great thing to get people to consider, as you're trying to
get experience, get your foot in the door.
Yeah. Even if you're getting paid very little, or it's a free internship and you're not getting paid at all, I think it's invaluable. You get your foot in the door. Most importantly, you meet the people in the industry and you establish a relationship with them, and then that can take you to the heights of your industry, and you can have those relationships for the rest of your life. It's Rich Redmond, drummer from Jason Aldean, always says, the music business, but really every business, he's like, it's a people business. It's all about relationships. It always will be about people and relationships. So an internship is such a great way to start those relationships and get your foot in the door. And man, I have done so many things for free. I've done so many things for, me. If it's a big opportunity with a big name, back when I was starting and for years, it was a big enough name, I would pay my own travel, put it together and do it. And then part of my perceived payment was the content, the video, and the photos for social media.
Exactly, and go to open mic nights, because you never know who's listening. You could have like a casting agent there or somebody that'll change your life. You never know. Just go out there anywhere you can, and just develop a portfolio of your work, or keep progressing, keep going.
Exactly. So exactly. That's perfect. Whether you're a writer, journalist, whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, that's exactly what you're building your portfolio.
IMDb,
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of acting.
I saw commercials.
Yeah. And I'll break. So Markos, the power journalist, is going to break something right now. So just today, I booked a lead in a short film. It's going to be shooting at the beginning of next month.
Nice.
And so it's kind of like a soapy kind of short film.
Nice.
And I just, from my experience with music and acting, but I'll just use acting as an example. Like if I go do a commercial, like a national commercial, those pay really well, right? But a lot of times, if I'm going to go shoot a film, which is, film is better, much bigger and better for your resume and for your portfolio. So I find that when you're shooting films, it's more about using it to build your portfolio. You don't get paid nearly as much as going to do a commercial. So I just want to encourage people to very smartly, very wisely, consider doing things where for free, or even if it's gonna cost you money. And I'm not saying pay to play for free at some crappy place, or do some crappy acting gig, or waste your time with some journalism gig that's not going to benefit you. But if you think if you know it will benefit you, then consider it.
Do it. Look, I say like the travel is the hardest part. When you perform is the reward.
Yep.
You're doing what you love.
Yep. Yeah. When it comes to music, they're paying me they're not paying me to perform. They're paying me to like get there and have to, get into the hotel and then come over and set up and sound check, because the performance is the best part.
It's instant gratification.
Yes. Oh yes. Definitely. Awesome. So in closing, I just want to ask if you have anything else for people that you would like to encourage them with, and where can we find the magical Markos Papadatos, power journalist?
Just keep on trucking. Just keep going and just never give up. Persevere. Eventually you'll get noticed. If you're talented, hard work pays off in the end. I'm a firm believer, and I'm gonna be nice to everyone because I'm a firm believer of karma. Like, this industry, it's a very unforgiving business. If your reputation is everything. If your reputation that you're a hard ass to work with, nobody's gonna want to work with you. And bad news travels fast. You'd be surprised.
1,000,000%.
Then you get blacklisted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no matter how big you are. So yeah.
I've seen it happen in Nashville, in the music business. You are so right. Reputation is everything, and it's so hard to if you get a bad reputation, it's so hard to reverse it. So that is excellent advice. And where can everybody reach out to you and find you?
At The Power Journalist on Instagram, and on Power Journalist on X, formerly known as Twitter. A question, Tim Charron, now instead of retweet, is it re-X? Re-X?
And I think it's just gonna have to stay retweet on X.
Re-X? Where can I re-X this article? X.
Yes, everybody, make sure you re-X this article, please. This
retweet, re-X? I don't even know anymore.
All right, well, awesome. Markos, you are the best. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know that obviously you're a very busy man with that kind of a resume, so I really appreciate you.
On a Guinness World Record someday for most articles.
Absolutely, yeah, that would be amazing. You can do it. You're already on the right path.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, go follow Markos and check out all of his amazing writing interviews.
And stay tuned for my upcoming one with Tim Charron to see what he's up to.
Aha! That's going to be awesome. All right, thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe and check out my man, Markos.
Miles or more with you by my side. I'm telling you, girl, it's just a matter of time. I'm gonna be a rock star, rolling sunset.